goodness, why was that so loud? Oh my god. It just like blew up people's eardrums. Yo, what is up with Spotify never being consistent between streams? Never. Never consistent between streams, ever. Like loud sometimes, quiet some others, unresponsive some other times. Fucking stupid, man. Stupid is what I say. Alright. Alright. I can't even hear it. I can't even hear it. Where's it coming from? Jesus. I love this song, man. Never even watched the show, but I love this song. Let's ping some people, shall we? Who the freak is this guy? This guy's probably been contemplating moths all day. Actually, no, I haven't. I've been contemplating a lot deeper subjects than that. I've actually started writing my my philosophy book, Mind of Melon, and I did it while at work, admittedly, because we were waiting on material all day. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I did that was not contemplating moths was I actually just changed out my light switch just now. So that it'll flashbang me in the morning whenever it's time to get up. So I have absolutely no excuse but to get up. That's right. I have chosen to torture myself in the mornings. So that's pretty cool. So instead of just relying on my alarm and my own gumption to get up in the morning to go to the gym, I have gotten a timer switch that is set to turn on my ceiling light. Yes, the light that is currently illuminating me right now is going to turn on automatically every single morning. Outside of my control. I'm going to be anticipating it like a jump scare. Dude, it's literally going to be a flashbang every single morning. I'm going to be sitting there. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, dude, what? Oh, shit, that's right. I changed my switch out, right. Yeah, it's going to be every single morning. And then eventually I'm going to fall numb to it, and all of my emotions are going to be swallowed away into the darkness, and I'll never feel anything ever again. Perfect guitar strum right there from the music. You want to hear some philosophy? I'd have to pull it up, though. I'd have to pull it up, though. See, I don't want to just, like, read it, though, because then it's like... No, the whole point is, like... I'm trying to not mimic. Bro, that would kill me. I don't even turn my light on when I get ready in the morning. Yeah, that's the point. Because, you see, and I've written about this, because I'm doing, like, a mix of sharing my philosophy, as well as mixing the vibe of this book right here, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. I find it quite inspirational. Where he basically just writes whatever the fuck because it wasn't for anybody to read. And I want to try and embody that. I want to write it as though it's only for my future self to read. But if it so happens to be published at some point, then people can use it as, you know, a guiding hand in their own life or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, but I have this issue, and this is actually both biological and psychological. My waking pattern is, like, fucked. Like, what's supposed to happen when you wake up is your subconscious gradually recedes. Your body dumps cortisol into your body to basically wake you up, give you enough stress to wake up. Not a big fan of marking myself. I haven't read the whole thing. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I like the guy. I obviously have no fucking clue who he is and like how he carried himself in his life. All we have to go off is his little ramblings. There's a few things in there that I like. I don't like all of them. There's a few things in there that I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, this is clearly from a guy, 2,000 years ago, or however many thousands of years ago it was. Hundreds of years, I don't know. Long time ago, right? I don't know. I haven't even finished reading it. But I like the format. You ever read this? The fact that I can't even say the word probably, or the name, probably suggests that I have not. I don't even know. Like Crime and Punishment or White Knight. Huh? Huh? What? Yo, anyways, what I was trying to say is I'm using this light trick because, you see, I don't wake up how you should, right? Your body should have a natural process of the subconscious receding, dumping chemicals or, cortisol or whatever the fuck, proteins, bullshit into your body. I don't remember what the word was. And you're supposed to wake up from that, right? It's supposed to gradually wake you up and bring you out of that sleep state. And then you carry on with your day, right? And although some of those super popular books, yeah, I don't definitely not then. Definitely not. But anyways, I have the problem where when I'm waking up in the morning, my subconscious does not go away. It's still like there. And so then and for like a brief few minutes, both my subconscious and my conscious thoughts are in the same space, essentially, the same headspace at the same time, simultaneously. And so there's quite literally two voices. One is my own, and I'm trying to force myself to get up. I'm like, hey man, we got shit to do today. I gotta go do this thing. And then the other half, not literally speaking, but is using freaking warfare tactics to basically force me into hallucinating my entire morning routine, making me think that I'm actually doing something, only to find out 5 minutes later that I'm still laying down. Now, this doesn't happen to just me. This happens to a lot of people. I think it even happens to my coworker a little bit. Though maybe not as severe. I don't know. I don't. Obviously, I'm not that personal with him. But basically, that's essentially a dumbed down version of what happens. Is in the morning, my alarm goes off. Instantly hit that off button. But I'm hardly aware of that. And then I'm going in my head, dude, okay, I gotta get up, gotta do these things. And I start thinking about it. Smoke, I'm gonna actually just bitch slap the fuck out of you. Yo, can we keep the moth? Can we keep the moth out here, please? Anyway, so yeah, I don't wake up properly. And so what I'm gonna do to basically force out the subconscious and like flashbang myself, jumpstart myself, is I'm going to just flood myself with light. Therefore, I cannot be in that state. We're checking out if you're just stepping into the philosophy world. I'd also recommend reading some Kafka. I found a few good revelations out of them. You could also try No Longer Human. I forget who wrote it, but it's a good, easy intro to some wider existential views. I'm kind of weird when it comes to philosophy. I feel like, because I have a whole bunch of books here. Some of these are science. This is, what is this? I think this is oh yeah, Quantum Gravity. Haven't read it. This is the first one I picked up. Systems, so that's not philosophy. This, I believe, is, I think this is philosophy. Kant, that's not really philosophy. That's just like other systems and shit. I mean, it's kind of both. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they get little bite-sized philosophy questions and shit. I haven't read any of these except for I've started meditations. I'm not a big reader. I try to get myself into it, but I kind of just, I swear I just saw you. I can't find the cleat I'm looking for, bruh. Do you need help? Anyways, so I try to get myself into reading, but then I kind of just don't, because I don't know, I'm weird in that I like to just sit in my own thoughts, and I haven't really had the need to look for answers elsewhere because I'm pretty comforted in my own. that might be a very limited scope of myself. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty open-minded, but I just don't go like looking for other things. If something falls on to my lap and it's like, "Oh, here's a different take." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." But like I don't go out of my way to like find different takes, I guess, if that makes sense. Which again is probably L move, kind of an L thinker move. I don't know. But I kind of just like expand upon my own thoughts constantly. There were a lot of cleats. Bro, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about right now? You're finding cleats. What? No, it's listening. No, it's listening. It's okay. I have 10,000 more viewers that are watching right now. That's the mindset. There's just these two random guys that are just chatting right now, talking about random ass shit. Gonna happen a lot. Where we're my thought is if you're going to write a book about it, you need a strong understanding of the opposing viewpoints through the world. Yes. Yeah. And that kind of comes out naturally. As I'm writing it, I'll see there are points in there that I'm like, that doesn't really make sense, or I should probably find something to back that up. What I've written so far is mostly just personal viewpoints, so I'm not really in the need of contrasting views. Like, it's literally just kind of personal, what I've experienced, that type of shit, where it's like, there's no point for an outside view when I'm talking literally about my view. Once I get through my perspective, then I'll probably explore other perspectives in the book. A lot of them have very strong competing points. Yeah, I'm sure they do. We are at work right now. Do you guys both work at the same spot? You guys work at the same place? Yes. I'm sure that's fun. I'm sure you guys get absolutely nothing done. I don't know. I've always been that way when it comes to writing, whether it's my philosophy takes or my actual fantasy world writing. Like I just read and write my own stuff and I'd never read anybody else's. I've read other books. I have other books that I like. And then I don't think anybody worth their salt in philosophy is going to be on Twitch. That's not entirely true. There's going to be some people. Like, okay, the people who are into philosophy aren't going on to Twitch for philosophy. But they could just be on Twitch and have a knack for philosophy. Mark who? Marcus Aurelius. He just said Mark. I don't really have any opinions about the guy. I mean, I'm entirely indifferent. He has a couple takes that I like so far, but that's really about the extent of that. But yeah. Like, obviously, no, people are not going onto Twitch for philosophy unless there's a very specific person who does it. But, you know, they could be just a gamer who goes on there and then, so happen that one of their streamers starts talking about it. Let me hear your thoughts on why there's something rather than nothing. Because if there was nothing, we wouldn't be here to see it. You can't perceive nothing if you are yourself nothing. Like, that's a pretty. I think that's pretty easy to answer. If there was nothing, do you think we have free will? Uh, in a scientific sense, probably not. But what fun is that? It really changes whether we do or not. Changes nothing about how we act. If we say that we have no free will and then we try to say, oh, that guy did that thing over there, but technically he didn't choose to do it, that just happened, so we're just not going to punish people, we're not going to hold people accountable for their own actions, I think that's stupid. So whether the argument of do we have free will or not, I think is a completely pointless endeavor. I think nothing doesn't exist, rather no thing is an idea that I thinking thing has about it its own absence. Well, nothing nothing by nature can't exist. It is not something that exists. It is, to even say nothing is itself a contradiction, because you're putting a label to something that is inherently nothing. You don't think we have free will? I would agree. I would agree, but it's not. It does nothing for us. I'd prefer to lie to myself knowing that I have no true free will. I'd prefer to just lie to myself and say, okay, well, you're going to make this decision. Because why would I not? It's not beneficial to say we have no choice in the matter. Nothing is the absence of anything. Well, nothing is the absence of things. Which doesn't exist. Nothing cannot exist. And that actually goes into some of my thoughts about what does happen when you go. My first immediate answer is going to be, well, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. You do not perceive a single additional thing. But what happens when you have nothing? An infinite amount of time can pass in an instant. Infinity will pass in 0 time from your perspective. So, literally anything can happen. In the chaos of the dying universe, when entropy is at its maximum, you could just spontaneously reform randomly in an amount of time that we can't even fathom, for like a blip, hallucinate part of your life in addition, or just a new thought, and then carry on. Like, you will not perceive that nothing, so in an instant after you die, you're somewhere else perceiving. You'd have to. Now, if there truly is nothing forever, well, that's... I feel like that itself is a contradiction. You just simply cannot have nothing. It doesn't exist. That's my take on it. I don't know. It might be interesting to some. Might be interesting to some. I don't know. Some people might think it's stupid. Whatever. Interesting song. Interesting song. Is this part of the Turkish delight? Wow. Very nice. Wow. Now my mind is in the answer question mode, so I can't even... Philosophy isn't about it being necessarily helpful or beneficial in the moment. It's about answering questions for yourself that don't have an answer. I can agree in some ways. I feel like I know where you're coming from there. I personally would define philosophy as the ability to the ability or the act of asking the right questions. You're not supposed to have the answer. Philosophy itself is a bait of the question. You find the right questions to get people to think about what an answer could be, but there's never truly a definitive answer. If there is a definitive answer, that is science, not philosophy. In my personal view. And you're right, no, it's not supposed to be helpful. I mean, it can be. It absolutely can be helpful. But yeah, like you said, it's really about the question itself. I don't think having an answer is as important as the question itself. For me to debate free will, I'd have to be in a VC lol, too much for me to type out at work, but free will is one of my favorite topics. Yeah, it's a very complex and often very controversial. I would probably have to play some sort of devil's advocate against you, because we probably agree on it pretty substantially. Like, I think we might have like a few twists and turns away from each other, but at the same, At the end of the day, I think it's pretty similar what we believe in terms of free will. Cars and houses both have windows, so it isn't the windows that make cars move. It's something else entirely. That's philosophy. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Cars and houses both have windows, so it isn't the windows that make the cars move. Yeah, that's good deductive reasoning, I would say. That's some elite level deductive reasoning right there, facts. Very nice. What a funny little quote, man. It is something else entirely. I wonder what it could be. What makes cars move? You know, that's actually more complex than you might think at surface level. You're asking what makes it move. There's a lot of parts that go into that, so that's a pretty complex answer, really. You've stumbled upon something extremely complex. Although it can all be answered by engineering, so maybe not as theoretical as a philosophical question, but, you know, still very complex. What am I gonna do today other than just yap about random shit? I don't know. Howdy. I'm gonna call you Mr. Nose from now on. Force. Force. Yeah, many. I'm sure there's probably a few forces being enacted on the car. Yeah, at least one. Mr. Nose is in the house now. You mind if I call you Mr. Nose? It's the only part of your name that I can say without questioning my sanity, my reality, as it were. It's funny. Yeah, that's cool. I have a Mr. Nose. It is. I have to rebrand or something, dude. Dancing in the Dune. What about you, Mr. Nose? Are you a philosophy guy? Do you like thinking about things? I don't know, bro. I think this is the best brand. That's true. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, truly. Never seen anything like it. Dude, we should do like a hold on. I wonder if we do what philosophy am I? Hmm. This philosophy quiz will prove whether you're actually smart or just pretending. Wow, what a freaking intro, dude. Okay, so this is not okay, this is not the type of philosophy quiz that okay. Let's see if you're smart or not. We're gonna give you a bunch of trivia questions. Not anything about your actual like complex takes on life. No, we're just gonna ask you trivia questions that you would only know if someone taught them to you. Okay. Religious LARPer quiz? Religious LARPer quiz. That's an interesting one. We'll just do a philosophy one for now. Philosophy quiz. Let's see. What is this? What philosophy am I? Is that really the right way to word that? We have two thinkers playing chess. They're 2 moves in. Incredible. You have no idea what I'm looking at right now. This philosophy is going to help you figure out what philosophical views are. Shows you. I base my philosophy off of what I learned through my religion, and everything I've discovered through my studies as an engineer reinforce my beliefs. That's quite fair, I'd say. That's quite fair, I'd say. See, learn through religion. Religion itself is a very often controversial debate itself. Many people can't really hold that debate without getting heated. Curious to see how many actually can. Then again, a lot of the people that get heated are because they're debating someone who's literally just taking jabs at them instead of actually asking questions that matter. So really, I mean, it's hardly something I can blame on either one. There are always questions to be asked about how something is true. True. Not gonna lie, I don't really have a religion I follow. That's fair as well. I mean, there's no one answer. Some will tell you there is, but there really isn't actually one answer for it. I mean, the inherent nature of religion is, I mean, just choosing what you believe in. I mean, that's really pretty much the gist of it, right? Giving yourself something to believe in, perhaps for, I don't know, faithful purposes. Miss Mellon has finally joined us. Welcome in. We're talking about philosophy stuff, and I was thinking about taking a philosophy quiz, but I can't find one that I like. You got any philosophy takes, Miss Mellon? See, this one, how much philosophy do you know? That's not the... I'm looking for a quiz that discerns the type of philosopher I might be. This one might be good. Philosopher personality test. Philosopher personality test measures which of 7 venerable, I don't know how to say the word, philosophers you resemble the most. Which philosopher are you like? For each of the following questions, indicate how well it describes you. We could do this one. I think we could do this one. What we yapping? Philosophy stuff. Let's see here. We'll do this one. This one seems okay. We'll see if it's actually good. A profound text cannot be truly good if it is not beautifully written. I don't like the wording of that, but a profound text cannot be truly good if it is not beautifully written. I mean, these are all just opinion. I mean, I guess that's the whole point of philosophy's opinion. Okay, well, I'm going to say disagree. You can be profound without using intricate... Oh my god, dude. I can't even say anything right now. Oh my goodness. Vocabulary was the word I was looking for, I guess. Or, yeah. You can have a profound thought without using an intricate vocabulary, I guess is what I was trying to say. Most people need to be led and controlled. Most people need to be led and controlled. I feel like a lot of people need to be guided, but not controlled. So I'm not going to give a full disagree because I feel like a lot of people do need to be guided. A lot of people's don't really have kind of a self-propelled system in their life. So I feel like a light disagree will be good for that. I'm more interested in things that can be measured than some pie in the sky type of thinking. Okay. What made you want to talk about this? I don't know. I just got on stream. And, well, today I've been... Okay, the conversation started because I had mentioned that I had started writing my little philosophy book called Mind of Melon. Very, very beginning stages. Literally just like jotting down ideas. So then we got onto the topic of philosophy, and so now here we are. I'm more interested in things that can be measured. I would agree. High in the sky type of thinking. I think that statement itself is just a very disinterested way of saying that, but I feel like the person writing this very question did not care about asking the question itself. I'll give a light agree because there's a lot of things that you can't measure that are interesting to talk about. So I'll do that. But I do prefer science in a lot of ways. There's much about the world that we can never know with certainty. Absolutely. Beautiful language is not beautiful language is not as important as people make it out to be. People should say what they mean as briefly and plainly as possible. I think getting to the point is very important in many cases, but to dismiss articulate languages is also not great. Beautiful language is not as important. Like important in what way are you saying, bro? Sometimes intricate language. I feel like beautiful language is just not the right way to say this. Maybe intricate language, but yeah, intricate language might not be as important as people make it out to be, but what people are making it out to be, so grand and important. Like this is just the take of the one guy who's writing this. Okay. People should say what they mean as briefly and plainly as possible. I do like being brief. Uh, personally, I'm a guy who likes to be quite straightforward a lot of the times, but of course sometimes I don't. There's always a clear right and wrong course of action in every moral dilemma. Mm, always a clear right and wrong course action in every moral dilemma. No. No, there's not. I'm going to do a light disagree, though. I feel like there's not that many dilemmas that you could not come to a reasonable conclusion on. I'll do a light disagree. Animals are better people than most people. That's conflicting. Okay. Animals are better people than most people. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Animals are better people than most people. Like, people do heinous shit, but, like, look at what animals do, bro. Like, have you seen them in the wild? Oh, bro. No. Animals are no way better than... Bro, that's like, yeah. Like, people do heinous shit. People do animalistic things, but that's, like, I use that word all the time to describe people who are not acting like people. I say that guy is a freaking animal in a bad way, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, dude, that guy's an animal, when they lift like, 1,000 pounds or something, deadlift, whatever. Like, okay, that's different. But like when I say someone is animalistic, they are letting their like biology control them. They are an animal in that moment. That's not a good thing. I don't equate that with being a good thing. Animals are nature, and nature I see as a good thing, but the acts of an animal are in no way more human than a human could ever be. The wise human being avoids the allure of power and fame. The allure of it, absolutely. But they avoid power and fame altogether? No. I would actually prefer a wise human being to strive for power. Not fame, but for power. And like in this instance, power would be the ability to actually act and make change on a vast amount of society. That's a good thing if you're wise. So I'd prefer that. But the allure of it, no. I don't. Yeah. I'm going to answer this directly how they're asking it. Another thing I don't like about these kinds of quizzes is the person writing the questions is often not actually thinking as deep as the person answering them. And so if I answer using direct language that they're asking me for, the person writing this question probably didn't think that deep and was just using a word that was more complex. Or not even complex, but just like a higher level of word to sound intelligent. to make the question, but I'm going to answer this with absoluteness. Like, I think a wise person does avoid the allure of power and fame, but that doesn't mean they avoid power entirely. Having power and fame can actually allow you to do a lot of things. What am I doing right now? I'm streaming. I am striving for fame, not power, fame, so that I can use that to actually achieve more things. Because right now, I don't have enough influence to do what I need to be able to do to accomplish all the things I want to do. So, and I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, I'm completely biased, so this is a nothing burger of a statement. But I wouldn't consider myself stupid. I'm not called forth by the void to search fame and power. I do it because it's a means to an end, and there are things that I want to do in my life, and I cannot do them alone. And so I seek out the fame so that people can help me achieve that. Those who want to help me achieve that. Our minds can never comprehend reality exactly as it is. I mean, our minds can never comprehend reality exactly as it is. Well, of course. Of course not. We can never see reality exactly as it is. It would probably be pretty chaotic. There's a lot of aspects of reality that we don't even know about. We're not even aware about it. So, yeah, I'd agree with that. I stir up controversy I stir up controversy simply for the sake of arguments. No. No. So-called evil people are just ignorant and in need of knowledge of the good. Bro, what is this? Knowledge of the good. Bro, who wrote this, dude? I feel like some fucking 16-year-old in his fucking basement wrote this shit while his mom was calling him to go to dinner. Like, what? What is this? In need of knowledge of the good. So-called evil people are really just ignorant and in need of knowledge of the good. I'm going to try and translate this in a way that I can actually answer. Evil people. So wrongdoers, people who do heinous acts, are often ignorant. And I guess have not been taught the current society's definition of good morals. I guess. I mean, evil people. Bro, this is such a stupid question. What? Evil people. I'm glad you put it in quotations, just so I know you weren't, relying on that word as it is. Evil people. I cannot get over this question. Knowledge of the good. How would you guys answer this? How would you guys interpret this? Like, I feel like I'm interpreting it how this person wants to ask it, but it's such a ridiculous question. Evil people are really just ignorant and in need of knowledge of the good. I feel like you could have just left that whole half out, the last half. So-called evil people are really just ignorant. Like, you could have just, period, full stop, right there. And that would have been a much better question than whatever the hell I'm reading right now. In need of knowledge of the good. I'm just going to read this as evil people are really just ignorant. And I don't know if I can agree with that. Because first of all, evil is a flawed word and it's a flawed description in itself. Evil is, I feel like evil has too many fluctuating parameters based off of everybody's beliefs in the moment of what evil actually is. Because it all rests on morals, and morals shift with society. Like, nothing is rigid in that sense. So what evil is never, I don't know. Anyways, Evil people are just ignorant. Why am I stuck on this question? This is a stupid question. I'm gonna give a reading this simply as evil people are just ignorant. I'm going to interpret evil as those who do objectively wrongful acts with intent, such as like murder or assault or harassment, with intent to do so maliciously, are ignorant people. I'm gonna have to. I spent so long on this question. I'm actually better just leave it neutral. I hate leaving it neutral because I feel like it's a cop out. But I literally cannot. What? This question is so stupid. This question is so stupid, bro. How would y'all answer this? Like genuinely, genuinely, how would you answer this? Facts. Are you still here? How the fuck would you answer this question right now? Is this not a ridiculous question? I can't stand this question. What? I feel like this is such a simple question, yet I'm like overthinking it, or it really is just that bad. What does this even mean, bro? What does this even mean, bro? Who the fuck wrote this this quiz, bro? I would say disagree. I'm starting to think so. Because yeah, if I go by my even the definition that I just gave to myself, which is people intentionally doing malicious act in order to harm, harass, or whatever the fuck to somebody else, they're not being ignorant. They're doing it on purpose. So yeah, I think I'd have to. Okay. The reason I'm gonna do a light disagree is because I feel like this person writing this question, the way I understand it, some people do bad things, even though they know that there is good alternative. However, some people never learn of this truth, and in their mind, they're doing the right thing. Yeah, that was pretty much where I was about to go with my light disagree, because there are some people who really weren't taught of what is actually good in our society. So I'm going to do a light disagree. My view of life is often misunderstood. I feel like I don't really share my view of life too often. There's not too many people that have heard my take on life. Uh but who am I to say that people are understanding it or misunderstanding it? I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I'm gonna go neutral. That's not even my place to decide. I mock people's religious beliefs. What the fuck? No. I have a flair for controversy. No. Dude, I don't like conflict, bro. The highest truths about this world are not rational or analytical, but can be grasped only through a sort of mystical intuition. The highest truths about this world. What was that religion question? Sorry, I was cutting worms. I'm sorry, you were cutting worms? Can we just pause for a minute? You were cutting worms. Why are you cutting worms? What the worms do to you, man? Okay, the religious one was I mock people's religious beliefs, which is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. People do that, but I'm not one of those. And then, of course, the flair for controversy. I don't like conflict, so I will avoid that. Anyways, we're back to this one. The highest truths about this world are not rational or analytical, but can be grasped only through. This is so. You're using really strong words such as are not only through a sort of. This is stupid. I'm not answering them. I had to feed my axolotls and they eat worms. However, the worms are too big for their mouths, so I have to cut them into eighths. Okay, it makes sense. I keep forgetting you have axolotls now. Yeah, this is a ridiculous question. You are using very, very strong words for this, and it is not only through mystical intuition. What does that even fucking mean? Disagree.
The mind is basically like a machine. I could agree in some sense. That's often how I debug my own freaking mind as I look at it like a computer. I say, okay, we'll describe this as processor, this as rendering, this as RAM, allocated RAM, how much I allocate to thinking about different things. Yeah, I feel like you could, but to say basically like a machine, I'm not gonna, like, I would hard agree if you said the mind is in, I guess, no, I guess it's fine. I don't know. I might be overthinking that. I'm gonna do a light agree though. It's basically like a machine. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's very much computer-esque. Yeah. A life marked by the absence of pain is better than a life marked by the presence of. Hold on. Let me lock in, bro. I gotta lock in with this guy. A life marked by the absence of pain is better than a life marked by the presence of pleasure. So a life marked by absence of pain or a life marked by presence of pleasure. Life centered on zero pain or a life centered on absolute pleasure. I assume is kind of the breakdown of this. Absence of pain or absolutes of pleasure. It's better than a life marked by pleasure. Dude, what? I hate the way this guy words this shit, man. A life of no pain or a life with pleasure. So I'm going to assume that either or do not include the other. So in a world without pain, there is no pleasure. But in a world with pleasure, there is pain. Am I reading that right? So you have no, in the first world, you have no pain, but no pleasure. Am I overthinking this again? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is, these questions suck. And in the second world, the presence of pleasure, but there is pain, because assuming that they are inverse, you wouldn't have the absence of pain in the second world. You'd have pleasure and pain. So if you have both pleasure and pain in the second world, but okay, so you either have both pain and pleasure in one world, or you have zero pain and zero pleasure in the other. So I would have to disagree, because a world of nothing is way worse than a world of something. So I'm going to disagree. Right? Am I reading that right? Am I reading that right? Because you have to assume that they're inverse. They don't include each other. That's how I'm reading it? Okay. So you have the world of no pain and no pleasure, or a world of pleasure, but it also has pain. And so you're either choosing the life that has an absence of stimuli is better than a life with it. I'm going to disagree. I shock people by saying outrageous and offensive things. I'm going to disagree slightly. The reason I'm not giving a full degree is because often I will say things and then unintentionally people are like, what the fuck? What? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I have to like explain myself. So I'll give a light disagree just because of those those occasional happen chances. Anyways, that's not a word. Beauty in this world is proof that there is a transcendent higher world. What? Bro, it is not. Beauty is proof that there's a transcendent higher world. What? Can you define these things for me, please? What do you mean by a transcendent higher world? Like, are we talking a different realm or a different dimension? Because there are different dimensions, objectively. How many, we don't know, but objectively, there are at least 3. 4, actually, because time, but time is constructs of our own mind or whatever. But we know that moments happen and they pass by. So, I mean, it's pretty reasonable to say that there is a 4th dimension, but whatever. Beauty is is proof that there's a. I don't even know what this means. I'm disagreeing. What the fuck does that even mean? If people challenge or confront me, I confront them right back with little fear of the consequences. If people challenge me, yeah, I'll confront them back. I'm not gonna shy away from a debate. Like if someone comes up to me and is confronting me, I'll bite back. Like, yeah. If they're coming to fight me, no, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, yo, relax. I'm not fighting you. I shock people with crass actions. Little fear of the consequences. That's concerning wording. What are they gonna kill me? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, if they're just confronting me, little fear of the consequences. Yeah, like, what are we? Okay, you know what? I'm glad you reminded me of that little tidbit there. I'm gonna do a light agree because if they're gonna kill me, bro, I'm not. I'm not doubling down. I'm not. Hey, yo, relax, man. Yo, we're just having a little fun. Hey, I'm gonna go home now. I'll see you later, man. Oh, oops. I shock people with crass action. What is this word? Lacking sensitivity, refinement, or good judgment. The fuck? Hell no. What? Lacking sensitivity, refinement, or good judgment. Fuck no. Also, why the hell are you using this word? Stupid. People think I am much harsher and more hard-headed than I really am. I wouldn't know that because, well, I don't have any of the people's minds outside of mine. Bold, kinda. Saying something without really thinking or worried for consequences. Yeah. Wait, what? Are you talking about crass? Making a joke about a serious or sad event. So humor. Dark humor, I guess. Insensitive behavior. I mean, that's lack of taste. Being overly focused on money and wealth. Saying without really thinking or worded. Yeah, no, I don't talk like that, bro. Like I try to be very deliberate with what I say. Sometimes I say shit that doesn't make sense, especially when I'm tired, but I try to be very deliberate with what I say. People think I'm much harsher and more hard-headed than I really am. I feel like this was true in the past. Now, people who meet me firsthand, if they speak to me long enough to get to know me, I would actually disagree heavily. Almost everybody that I've met recently and actually gotten to know, we've gotten along very well. I feel like I'm very easy to get along with a lot of people. But of course, I'm the type of person where if you can't stand knowing that your friend or something disagrees with you on a very important subject to you, like I'm not gonna say sorry. Like I've had people in the past where they've had a different opinion than mine, and I thought their opinion was quite illogical. I didn't really say that to them, but they knew that I thought that in their own way. And they couldn't stand that. It wasn't like a crazy thing. It was just we thought differently about a very particular specific subject, and they didn't like that, and they just couldn't stand it. And well, we're no longer friends. I've lost quite a few friends of my life, not for just that reason, but it's part of it. Oh, dude, best song. We're back to it. Let's go. We've come full circle. Uh, I'm gonna have to stay neutral because I don't know. I don't know what's on other people's heads. I'm going to stay neutral. Simple pleasures are the best. Simple pleasures are the best. As opposed to complex pleasures. Simple pleasure, the small things, I guess. The small things are the small things that hit right are often the best. I mean, the small things hit quite often in comparison to larger events. Simple pleasures are the best. I mean, the simple pleasures are the simple pleasures. I mean, I know that sounds redundant, but I mean, if you know, you know. Simple pleasures are this person is using very strong words. They are the best. But of course, it's a very opinionated question. Everything in here is opinionated, and I don't even understand half of them. What do I think about simple pleasures? Simple pleasures are nice, man. If I consider simple pleasures being just relaxing, chilling, like if I'm on a cruise or something, I spend the entire cruise just sitting on the balcony, drinking beers with a friend, talking about life and shit, not doing anything that the cruise actually has to offer. I find that quite simple, simplistic in nature, and it's probably my favorite thing ever. My favorite thing in the world when it comes to interacting with other people is just chilling, talking about life, bro. Maybe that's a simple pleasure. And so in some cases, I feel like I agree. I won't do a strong agree, though, because I don't entirely understand their interpretation of this question. Being preoccupied with whether one is a good person or not is a sign that one... Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, lesser being, I saw that. Got to reread it. Being preoccupied with whether one is a good person or not is a sign that one is a lesser being. Is this one the same person? So being preoccupied with whether this person is good or not is a sign that this person is a lesser being. Bro, what does that even mean? What? Bro. Being preoccupied with whether one is a good person? Are you trying to say that this person who is preoccupied is this person who is a lesser being? Is that what you're trying to say? The preoccupied person who's concerned about other people being good or not means that the person who is worried about that is a lesser being? Or are you saying that the person who you are unsure of is the lesser being? In both cases, I'm disagreeing. That just, to be a lesser being, what the fuck does that even mean? I'm disagreeing. People who profess to be gravely concerned with so-called... It's fucking words, man. People who profess to be gravely concerned with objective truth are really just professing their weakness. So people who are concerned about objective truth are really concerned about, are really showing their weakness. Okay, so I can interpret this as people who can't handle so much of the objective truth, or who state in some proxy sense that they are not fond of objective truth, are really just saying their weakness. People who profess to be gravely concerned with so-called objective truth. So to be gravely concerned with objective truth, people who say that are really just showing their weakness. So you could dumb this down to say that those who are concerned with, or who cannot handle objective truth, are weak. That's what you're asking me. People who cannot handle objective truth are weak. That's what you're asking me. Just fucking ask that. And because I've interpreted it this way, I'm almost leaning towards agree. But we're talking weak in more of a self-contained sense. if you cannot handle objective truth, you are likely inherently mentally not as stable. In like a not in like a, how do I say this? Not stable as in like you have mental problems, but like stable as in like you are self-assured, if that makes more sense. So people who cannot handle objective truth are not self-contained. Like they don't have themselves to stand on, like they don't have their own foundation to rely on. And so when an objective truth comes along, they fear it. That makes them, in some ways, I guess, weak, but I don't know. Oh, if I just be greatly concerned, objective truth are really just besting their. I hate the wording of these things, man. I hate the wording. They're really just chalking it all up to saying that they're weak. I don't. Objective truth. My internet is weak, but I'm gonna still try and watch the stream. Alrighty. What do you think, Fax? I don't know if you're still here. What do you think, Fax? What do you think about this question? Perhaps you can interpret it differently for me. I've interpreted it, if I dumb it down, as them simply asking me if I think that someone who cannot handle objective truth is someone who is weak. You disagree. What is your reason? Assuming we're agreeing on the premise of the question. Assuming we have read it in a similar sense. Because part of me wants to agree, but then part of me think it's just insensitive. Like it's an insensitive take. Those who are worried about objective truth aren't necessarily weak. Being worried about something isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of nuance. Okay. Because I'm leaning. Because part of me wants, like I said, part of me wants to say agree. Because I feel like any person should be able to handle a level of objective truth. If they cannot handle it, they really have no foundation to themselves, which is a form of self-weakness. Like, you cannot stand alone. Levels, yes. It's talking about general truth. Well, okay, if we're talking about general truth, then generally objective truths. I feel like anybody needs to be able to handle that. If you cannot handle that, dude, this is like literally testing my own philosophy on everything I stand for. It, like, I'll get into what it is later that I'm being conflicted with right now, but no, like, it's talking about objective truths overall, not generally accepted truths. Objective truths overall. No, but I still feel like anyone should have. Now, I'm not saying everyone does, but like everyone should have or strive to have the ability to accept objective truths. Like, if we define objective truth, this is something that simply is. There is no room for debate. It is objective in every sense. Objective truths, you need to be able to accept objective truths. If you can't, that could be a problem. This is not the word subjective. If it were subjective truths, opinions, then I wouldn't give a shit. But we're talking about objective truths which have been proven definitively by either science or whatever means. Science, math, objective things. I know some people might say that, oh, math is not objective. Did I say subjective? I'm going to say objective. Whatever. Anyways. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have to, I feel like I'm going to have to agree, Sadie.
I just don't like the word weak. Like, I get what they're saying, which is why I'm agreeing slightly. I just don't like that word weak. Like, I feel like in order to have your own foundation and be able to stand on your own, you need to be able to accept objective truths. Name an objective truth. Gravity. Gravity exists. We get, like things like that. Gravity exists. The earth is round. Like, these are really low hanging fruit, but that's just to get my point across. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, things that just are. Like, that is an objective truth. Something that you cannot deny because it has been definitively proven. That is what I define objective truth as, which is why I'm agreeing. I don't want to fully agree because I don't think you're weak without, like, some people are sensitive. Sensitivity, in some cases, can be weakness. I'm going to slightly agree because of that. Sexual attraction tends to lead people into bad situations. Sexual attraction tends to lead people into bad situations. I don't think it tends to. I mean, it can. That is a agree. uh Tends to lead people into bad situations. I guess it would happen more often than those who find like actual partners with it. Sexual attraction tends to lead people to bad situations. I don't know, because there's a duality to it, right? You have the people who get into stupid shit because of it, but then you also have people who, like, because of that biological nature of that attraction, you have found your partner and now you have like a long happy life or some shit with them. The saying my dick has led me to places where I wouldn't go with a gun exists for a reason. Tends to, though. Like, this is, I guess that does fit with more often than not. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Generally speaking, only the highest specimens of humanity interest me. What? Only the highest specimen. What? So only like the top of the top humans interest me? What? What does that even mean? Only the highest specimens of humanity interest me. I'm gonna yeah, just because of this really hard word here, only, I'm disagreeing hard. The highest specimens of humanity interest me. What kind of caste system? Yeah, dude, like, I interpret it as like there are, despite the, we're gonna just completely ignore the caste system here because what a fucking ridiculous thing. Like, there is obviously a gradient of humanity. There is always a bell curve for everything, and there's people who sit over here and people who sit over here in every single aspect of our lives. So am I seeing highest specimens as in like the most intelligent, the most athletic, the most entertaining people? Like, all these people are the only ones that entertain me. I can't, like, fathom lowering my standards to interact with someone who is not the top of their game. Like, that's how I'm interpreting it. But even then, I'm still fully disagreeing. I think that's stupid. I feel like everyone on whatever spectrum they might be on has something to say. In fact, I actually have personal experience with, we hire new people. They know nothing about the electrical trade. And I've had people who are like 3 months in, and it's always like little things. It's always little things. They do something and I see it and I'm like, yo, wait. That little thing is such a good idea. Something so simple. I have one on my mind right now. When we're going to strap like pipe, like conduit, or MC cable or whatever across like a wall or something, and it's just been sheetrocked or whatever, surface mount, I would always, screw in the one hole straps, whatever. But one day, I never thought about it. It's something so simple. I saw one of our helpers take one of the screws that was already there,
put the strap there, and then just screw it right back into the same hole. Something so simple as that. I just never crossed my mind. And I saw that and I was like, bro, because a lot of the times, now obviously I've gotten way better at this and it's not a problem anymore for me, regardless. But whenever you're getting used to, you know, drilling stuff into walls, you can slip a lot and like lose your screw and all that. And that always annoyed me. And so when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, wait, why didn't I think of that? There's already a screw there with an existing hole, just unscrew it, put it back in. It's like, it's just little things like that. Like, anybody can be helpful. My grandpa actually has a story that he would always tell me. He used to run a wood shop, a carpenter shop, which is now one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in Vegas. He doesn't run it anymore, but he helped run it back then. And their janitor, they were having a lot of trouble figuring out some problem with some machine or something. And their janitor was there, and he said, "Oh, yeah, this other shop, this is how they did it." They were like, "Holy shit, that's the solution." Had him $100 bill, said, "Hey, thanks, man. Take the rest of the day off, bro." Like, you know, and so it's just like anybody can give you insight, and so I think this is stupid. I think this is stupid. I am a creature of habit. I am a creature of habit. So I'm a human being. I'm a biological creature that also so happens to be a human being. No shit. No shit. All we do is like enact what we have, like we have habits. It's often what is called getting stuck in your ways, right? We solidify what we know best and what works best, and then we get stuck on our ways. Like we are literally like, bro, no shit. The fuck? Most people are unable to think for themselves. Ooh, this is a hard one. Most people are unable to think for themselves. I feel like a lot of people, like, dude, anyone, any freaking conscious mind out there who has worked like retail or really anything, man, working anywhere where you have to interact with some person at some point, at some level, you've interacted with someone where you're like, dude, that guy is not conscious. That dude just exists. And it's really sad, but it's true. But I would not say most people. But I do think a lot. I do think a lot. For me to say most would be above 50%. But I think it's pretty fucking close to 50%. Bro, like, obviously, I don't know a lot of people. But for there being 8+ billion people on the planet, the amount of people in vicinity to me who just like I can't even comprehend how like simple-minded, I guess I could say, so many people are. And I'm like, dude, how are there so many people in my like immediate area in my day-to-day life? So many of them are just like unconscious. It's insane the amount of people I interact with that are just like that. And I'm like, bro, if there's this many in my direct area, how many are in the world? I feel like it's really fucking close to like 50%. I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna disagree lightly. I'm not gonna do full disagree just because there's so many, bro. I feel like there's so many. The best insight is gained by approaching a subject in practical and orderly manner, indexing it, and mapping out what is currently known about it. I mean, this is just like a practical and orderly manner, indexing it and mapping out what is currently known about it. I mean, this is just like standard research. This is just like the gold standard of research. You approach the subject practically, I don't know, orderly is really not necessary. It's kind of a redundant. Just approach something with a practical mindset, I guess. Like just practically, you index it. That's again, that's not really necessary. But I mean, I guess it's like writing it down. I guess logging it, putting your finds or whatever. But then you also have mapping what is currently known about it. That's just research. The best insight, I would say that's okay. I give it like a light agree. I wouldn't give it a full one. Because the best, I don't know. It's all these questions are fucking stupid. I ask questions that others consider crazy. Dude, I don't ask anybody anything, bro. I don't talk to people. I don't even talk to people, bro. I'm gonna do a disagree. Or that others consider crazy. No. Well, actually, hold on. I don't know. How can I know what other people consider? How do I know that? What the fuck? I hate these questions. I ask questions. I'm going neutral. People fuss too much over their banal. Yo, you gotta stop using stupid ass fucking words, man. Jesus Christ. Is an adjective that means boring, ordinary, lacking originality. They're banal everyday problems. So just day-to-day life. People fuss too much about their day-to-day life. It depends on the day you're asking me, man. Some days I don't give a shit, man. But some days I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll hear you out. Do I think they fuss too much over day-to-day issues? I mean, if we're using this exact definition of something boring, unoriginal, whatever the fuck, literally just day-to-day issues, everyday things, everyday problems, yeah, I'll agree. Yeah, of course I do. I make use of long chains of logical arguments in my thinking so as to root out any contradictions or uncertainties. The reason I did an instantly high agree, yeah, not so much that I use long chains of logical arguments, really just for the last part where it's like I do a lot of thinking to best root out any contradictions. I contradict myself a lot, and I catch those, and I'm like, I should probably switch up the way I think about that because I'm contradicting myself. I don't like contradicting myself, so I'll think about it a lot until I stop doing that. So I'm gonna do a hard agree, but not really because of the long chains of. I think that's whatever. I mock people who think I don't mock people. I'm gonna disagree before I even finish it. They're all that so as to deflate their egos. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. I need to back that up. I hate people with a huge ego. And I have a huge ego a lot of the times. I have a huge ego a lot of the times. So I do like to deflate a big ego, man. I do like to deflate a good ego. I'll do a light disagree. Our base desires as human beings are coarse and vulgar. Our base desires as a human being are coarse and vulgar. Base desires as a human being. I mean, that kind of goes back to the conversation we were having earlier, where it's like humans, in a sense, in their base biology, are animals, right? And so, if you see a human who reverts into their animalistic instincts, our natural instincts are coarse and vulgar. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like I said, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, if you revert to your animalistic instincts, like you're still a human, you're just using your lower human instincts, like your base. Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, I think I'd agree pretty strongly with that. What makes us different is when we um essentially pull ourselves away from that. Like that's what makes us more than just a human, like
I don't know. I feel like maybe a light, because some are based desires as a okay. If we were saying instincts, I would do here. But we're saying desires, so that's a bit different. I feel like a desire of the base biological human being is pretty coarse and vulgar, I'd say. Let's see what the fuck they say about me. Kant, 80%. I've never even read your shit, bro. 55% Aristotle. 60%. I can't even say her name. Brother. Got a little bit of everybody here. A great scientist and a great philosopher. And diffused the writings of Newton with the philosophy of his day. For Kant, the human mind contains the faculties that appear to us to open in the physical universe, such as quantity, causality, total existence. You see the faculties interact with reality as it exists in itself, creating synthesis that appears to be to us as objective true, while being in fact only true according to the synthesis between the rational categories of human mind and the raw stuff of reality. With references, he has 3 references here. I don't know. That was okay. That was an okay test. I feel like a lot of that shit was fucking horribly worded. The least amount on Plato. Interesting. Nietzsche. Dude. I don't know. That was kind of a questionable test. What are the other ones? Morality. Meaning in life test. Oh, we got a second one. Should we do any of these? Belief in a just world. Purpose test. Gun rights test. Bro, is that just not one question? There's 24 questions? Gun laws should come. Oh my god, wait. Am I gonna do this right now? Hold on. No. Yo, wait. Oh god. I'm opening up a can of worms here that might end badly. I don't know what people think about all that shit, bro. I guess it doesn't matter. Yo, should I do any of these test facts? Civilizational values. Hmm. What you think, facts? If you're still here. Perhaps. Perchance. Wow. Well, anyways, that was a mid-ass discussion or test or whatever the fuck. Incredible. Incredible. Wow. I hated so many of these questions, bro. These were all just like horrible, man. Yo, but I can't wait to get flashbang tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. It's gonna be so fun. I love that. Let me see here. Let's close out with a little bit of balloons, shall we? Start with some balloons. A lot of philosophy talk here. I'm gonna go back to my Cuphead songs. My Cuphead songs. Oh, balloons update. Skyward Monkey. Oh, there's a new map. Okay. A new map for balloons. Interesting. Interesting. Bang. All right. Let me switch my game over so that people know that I'm playing this. Balloons TD6. There it is. Balloons cringe. With ya boy Melon. That's right. Done. All right. What in the hell is this? I don't want that. Give me this present. Sky Warden. Is that a new character? Or is that a hero? Sky Warden. Is that a hero? The fuck is this shit, bro? Is that Quincy? No. He had a bow. Is that an actual new monkey? Hold on, bro. Oh, we already beat this. Chimps. Okay, mate. We finally beat that freaking map. Look at all these beautiful black borders. Incredible. Where's that new one at? Oh god, it's gonna be like an advanced map. Oh no, it's right here. It's an advanced. Oh shit. I'll be right back. Hold on. I've returned. I've returned. All right. I've never even touched an intermediate map. I'm gonna get like absolutely destroyed if I try to do that. We're gonna just continue on our Black Border crusade here. We'll do this one because we're already really close. Oh my god, half cash right off the bat. This is rough. I don't remember what my strategy was here. Oh, it is. It's a new guy. It's a new guy. What does he do? Is he like really complicated? Does he have like crazy shit? What does he do? Aerial attunement, railing cruiser on range. Oh, you can see camo for great distance. And combo attacks first, cause balloons to periodic back. Attacks include volleys, disable camo from balloons within radius. Oh, so this is a lot like what is that? Not shimmer, whatever the fuck that one was from the Wizard Monkey. Lightning can stun ZOMGs. Then we got ice. Okay, so we got ice, lightning, and wind. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. I don't remember what the play was here.
I think I had this guy here, I believe. We'll see if we get Sada at some point here in the next 20 years. Okay. All right, we're going to restart that. Okay. I believe I put this guy here. I cannot remember. Okay, we'll get that guy, and then we'll put this dude like back here-ish. Switch your hand, good sir. There we go. Y'all are the dream team. The dream team. Yippee. I know you didn't just almost let a freaking balloon get through, man. Improved rings. Get in the water. Get in the water, penguins. I can remove that. 500? Yeah, dude. This is half cash. I'm never going to have that money. Spare. Dude, I'm looking at that quote from earlier from Facts, bro. I've literally never even heard that quote before, but it's funny as shit. Oh my goodness. What a crazy quote that is. Mm. Get in the water, penguins. I did not say you could stand there. Hmm. I don't know how long these guys are going to keep this up for. Oh my goodness, it's already too late. I got a freaking balloon through. Okay, that's not good. We got to get Sada ASAP. Ow. Ow, I just hurt my ankle. Guys, come on. Please. This isn't that hard, man. Guys, please. I just need 100 more. 100 more dollars, please. Stop letting balloons through. Stop. Please. Do I get 50? Stop letting balloons through. Oh my god, immediately so much better. I need what? How many? 3 million? I need 3.5 million pops. Jeepers. I don't think that's actually that much in the grand scheme of things. It's not too bad. I could just like do a full 100 plus round run, whatever the fuck it's called. Just do one of those, get a bajillion pops, and I'll be good. Look at penguins get in the water, man. Glaive Ricochet. Oh, guess who forgot to put the freaking Discord thing up? Wow. Wow, so crazy. Anyways, anybody who's here, you should definitely join that. We'd be chilling in there. I think maybe this one in the next round, assuming I don't die. I might be able to do 2 more, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And then I shall go off to the bed so that I can get flashbanged at 4 a.m. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so epic. I'm already dreading it, but that's the point. That's literally the point, bro. Holy. Dude, I don't know. God, this is not good, bro. This is actually just not good, bro. I'm about to get absolutely freaking destroyed. I'm about to get destroyed by this freaking Moab, dude. This is not good. Like, at all, bro. Oh. Dude, it's over. Oh my goodness, it's over. Oh, it's over. Dude, it's so over. Wait. Save it. Yes. Oh my god. Dude, no way. We survived. We survived to live another day. Dude, 3,800. Oh my goodness. This is so cringe. Unlock social. What is this? Link your account with Bloons TD6. I think I'm good. Yo, I guess there's some like Bloons event or some shit with Discord. I don't know. Crazy shit, man. Oh my goodness, this guy is so expensive. I hope you know I hate you, man. You suck. Goodness, golly gumdrops. Next, we gotta go. This is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Half cash is the bane of my existence. The absolute bane of my existence. You get a free Wampus pet if you buy a thing in Discord's Bloons TD6 shop. That's why. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe I'll check that out later. I don't know. Connect account. Let me see here. In the shop. Yeah, I'll have to look at that later. Anyways, Mr. Jammer Lammy. Interesting name. Haven't seen that one yet. Or anything like it. Welcome in, dude. And you can, like, see your Discord friends on Bloons TD6. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. Maybe I'll hook that up later. Obviously not going to do that right now, but I might check that out later. I am personally kind of a balloons guy myself, kind of a popper if you catch my drift, so I might have to do that. We actually had enough money to get 2 upgrades in a row. Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. Next is this guy. How you doing, man? You come here often? Get in the water, penguins. Okay, what's next? Glaive Lord. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Glaive Lord on half cash might be a lost cause. Might be a lost cause. Do we have round 63 coming up here pretty soon? That shit sucks. No, I don't. This is my first impression of you, so I don't come here often. Oh. Well, you know. You know, what about, you know, Twitch as a whole? You know, you probably come here, you probably come to Twitch pretty often. Welcome in, new viewer. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are very welcoming. Bro doesn't come here often. That's so sad. Oh gosh. No. He doesn't come here often. How unfortunate. Yo, today, bro, before, actually, no, it was technically after I started rereading that sentence. It sounds super Redditory, so ignore the cringe. What? Redditory. Okay. Whatever the hell that means. Something about Reddit, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on right now. Oh, anyways, like I was saying, bro, before, no, sorry, right. It was after I had written a bunch in my little Mind of Melon thing at work today. I saw that basically 30-year-old Reddit mod. Oh, that's pretty cool. But I had seen on YouTube the Infinity Castle for Demon Slayer, right? And I was like, oh, it's finally out on Crunchyroll. So I went to go watch it. And when I tell you it was 2 hours and 30 minutes of probably the most boring fucking exposition I've ever seen in my life, I think that's an understatement. Holy hell, I am so glad I did not go and watch that shit in theaters. Like, I love the show, but buddy, you could have made that like 5 episodes, maybe split it up a little bit, so I didn't have to sit there for 2.5 hours to get exposition for exactly 3 characters. There was probably maybe 2 good fight scenes. Yeah, no, it's literally just a 2 hour long episode of it's like 2.5 hours. There was maybe 2 good fight scenes. Don't get me wrong. The animation is fantastic. It looks great. Absolutely fantastic. But the story and the plot is just like so obviously like 3 or 4 videos stitched into one. It's agonizing. Like, it is so slow. And what pisses me off about the main character, Tanjiro, is he literally learns one of the most broken moves. Like, he gets the most broken ability. Literally spends the past 30 minutes building up how he's figuring this out, and he finally gets to use it. And then it's like he just instantly forgot how to use it. Like, it's just gone. We spent 30 minutes building up this ability. He uses it once, and just never again. I'm like, holy shit, what a waste of time. What an absolute snooze fest, this movie. Holy shit. Holy shit. What an absolute snooze fest that was. Okay, yo, guys. Yo, can we kill these balloons, please? Who the frick is texting me right now? Yeah, dude, my friend literally just responded to when I was saying the same thing to him. Saying, yeah, dude, it was really disappointing compared to the manga. I haven't read the manga, but he, this guy reads every manga on the planet. Like, you could literally bring up anything and be, oh, yeah, I read that when it came out. Dude, what? You love feet? Oh, hey, here he is right here. Ramen noodles. Spelled, I don't know if you were trying to say noodles. I did read that, honestly. Oh, yeah. You just didn't respond? That's okay. That's okay, man. Yo, so how's AutoZone going, man? How's AutoZone going? Pretty chill. Hell yeah. They got me running what's it called? Oh, the next JD Sports Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's raining over here. Well, you are in Florida, so it does that a lot. Almost done. Just running beach circuits and closing lights. Beach circuits? I feel like that was supposed to be a different word. Hey, JD. Hell yeah, dude. The last one was a fucking bullshit ass whatever. Now I'm in an ugly poncho. Holy mother. Oh, okay. Yo, dude, half cash is horrible. Branch circuits. Oh, okay. First JD was horrible, but I'm going into this one having remembered most of the last one. So I'm on that shit. I'm on that shit. We've been out there for maybe a week total, like 5 days, and I've sent in like 4 or 5 really large materialists, and we've just been like going, you know. And this time I didn't let them order me what is it, 1/4 inch all thread and thin strut, because that turned into a $14,000 change order in the last JD Sports and took us 2 weeks to fucking fix everything and put us 2 weeks behind schedule, and that was all fun. So that was cool. So I didn't let them convince me to do that again. So you know, order the right shit the first time and it won't be a problem. Very cool. Anyways. Oh, and I finally got a laser. I finally got a green laser. Oh, it's so nice, dude. It's so nice. It's not the one that I wanted to get, but the one I wanted to get was like $700. So, yeah, we went with the 300, but it's okay. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm gonna have to do this guy because I'm literally just not gonna have the money for anything else. Why the fuck did my light just turn off? Why the fuck did my light just turn off? I didn't set it to do that. Raymond, if you're still here, so I got an automatic light switch and I just put it in my room. And it's programmed to basically wake me up in the morning, like literally flashbang me. And it just decided to turn off. I don't know if it's like some occupancy sensor thing or like it has a timer or some shit. I don't know. It is currently 8:29, so it's a random ass time for it to do that. I'm gonna have to investigate that momentarily. We're gonna have to see. 8:29, so it's not even. I don't know why it would have done that. I'm gonna have to investigate that. It's okay. Automatic light switch for the win. I don't know why I just turned off. How many do I got? Not enough. Okay. I don't have enough time for one more. I don't, unfortunately. So we're just gonna close out with some chill. Some gaming and chill. What a day, man. I'm gonna go forward. Hopefully my auto light switch actually gets me up in the morning to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And so if that goes well, I'm hoping I can really start locking in, get myself to where I want to be. Basically just gonna be focusing on 2 things and 2 things only outside of work, which is gym and streaming. I'm just gonna ignore everything. Redeemed first. Incredible. Dude, now I'm just thinking about that. Why the fuck did I did not set it to turn off, bro. It had to have had like a delay or some shit. Had to have had like a delay or some shit. I don't know. Like maybe it's on its own default timer where it just turns off after like 90 minutes. That could be it. I don't know. But I will investigate that. As long as it turns on when I told it to, won't be an issue. Won't really care about it turning off randomly. But yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll probably just cut it a little short here. I know I usually go to 2 hours. We got 10 minutes. If anybody has any questions, anybody have any questions for me, you can ask me. But if you don't, which you likely don't, then I'm just gonna go. If you don't mind, of course. If you don't mind. So yeah, hopefully I'll lock in here pretty soon. What the hell is that? Okay. Random ass anime emote or some shit. Um, Illuminati. Wow, incredible. Uh, Anyways, yo, Raymond, how's the gym been going, man? You been going, or are you still doing at home stuff, calisthenics and shit? How's the old stuff been going? Yeah, because I fell off for a couple weeks almost immediately because I couldn't get myself to wake up, which is why I have the light switch now. Yeah, actually, I've been going for the past 2 weeks. Hell yeah. You going after work, I'm assuming? I can't imagine you'd be going in the morning. Like 5 o'clock or something. Yeah, straight after work. Hell yeah. Hell no, no way. Come on, man, bro. Get the automatic switch, bro. I promise, bro. It'll wake you up. Actually, I can't make that promise. I don't know yet. Damn, I thought you would have been on it. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Mornings just ain't it for me, dude. Mornings just ain't it, bro. I got I got too many issues, bro, for that to work. So I am now putting it in the hands of a Switch. That early must be ass. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. The worst part is being forced to work in jeans. That's the worst part. Because it's like, where the fuck am I going to change? Like, I could change in the bathroom, but I don't want to carry shit in. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, I could easily solve that problem by just changing in the bathroom, but, you know, it is what it is. So, uh, yeah. Well, like, when I'm actually up, when I go to the gym, it's not that bad. The hardest part of any morning is simply getting up. Hashtag just change, weirdo. Yeah, dude, it's whatever. Yeah, if it were that easy, bro. Just got to endure, right? Just be better. Oh, not happening. Hashtag just change. I feel like that hashtag isn't supposed to be there. Oh, dude. Now the jeans ain't so bad, bro. See, I don't know why everybody hates on jeans, bro. I see whenever I go in the morning, like half the people in there have jeans on because it's like they're all dudes going right before work. Kind of funny. Kind of makes me feel like a Chad, you know? Like look at all these freaking suckers. I'm still at Disney. My legs and feet hurt so bad. Disney. You're at Florida, so that's Disney World, which is the only one I've ever been to. I've been to it twice, I think. Been to it twice. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's okay. I mean, I'm not really a Disney person, but it was an okay experience. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, a lot of walking, a lot of walking, and a lot of long lines. I don't like the lines. Lines suck. I'm at World, but I had panic attacks the entire time. That's not good. That is not good. You shouldn't be doing that. Why is that? Low key in a Rocket League game right now? Uh, what about the light switch? What do you mean, what about the light switch? I mean, I've said like multiple different things about it. Like what in particular? Rocket League, bro. I gotta lock in with that, bro. I gotta lock in with some of these games, man. I just really don't want to play. I just really don't want to play those games right now. Any competitive game right now, I'm thinking about it, and They don't strike me as enticing. You should hop on right now. Hell no. I'm going to bed soon. It is 8:30. Sometime. Hell yeah. No, I mean, bro, like, I mean, if you don't mind like being on stream and shit, I'll totally play with you. But I only ever play games on stream because I don't have time outside of that to play games. So, um, yeah. So I mean, if you don't mind doing that, is it fine if I call you when I get back at my hotel? It might be at around 11 for you. I mean, I'd prefer not. I'd prefer not. Uh, let me debate that in my head for a minute here. I'm down, I bet. Um, yeah, so we'll figure out a day. That's fine. Figure out a day. Cause dude, that's the thing, bro. Like I would never want to play that game solo. Like same thing with Rainbow Six, Rocket League. What's another game that I didn't want to play by myself? Like really any competitive game like that. I just I don't I can't play those alone, man. So I'm totally down to play with other people. So if you're available at some point, at some day when I'm actually awake and streaming, because I'm supposed to go to bed at 8 or 9, but I always push it to 9 because I stream at like 8:30. I'm rambling about nothing. Holy shit. I haven't been sleeping well. Okay, you can call me. That's fine. You can call me. That's okay. However, if the call hangs up and it's like 2 a.m., like if it's past 2 a.m., do not call me. Because that close to waking up, I'm going to be mad. Like, I'm just going to be mad. So, let's try to avoid that. I'm going to be morning angry. Like, obviously, later in the day, I'd be fine. I wouldn't care. But in the morning when I am tired and I know that I have to wake up in 2 hours, um, yeah, that's gonna like piss me off. So just don't do that if it's after 2 a.m. I have to wake up in 2 hours after that. Don't do what? Don't. If it's after 2 a.m., don't call me back because I'm gonna be like sleepy mad in the morning if you do that. Because then I know that I have to wake up in 2 hours. And it's like I don't want to lose any sleep that close to waking up. That's my rule now. Yes, yes. Indeed. Dude, I'm like actually dreading the morning now, dude. I'm not I don't even know how I'm gonna react when my lights go on, bro. I don't even know how I'm gonna react. That's gonna be brutal, man. I'm gonna actually get flashbanged, bro. It's gonna be so bad. Holy shit, cause dude, my lights are so bright, dude. My lights are so bright. Especially, dude, because I have blackout curtains, there's no light in the room. None. Nah, I'd adapt. Nah, I'd rise. Nah, I'd rise. Anyways. But like I have blackout curtains, right? So there's zero light. And so it's gonna go from pitch black to just ceiling light instantly. Like actually a flashbang. Yeast Titan. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. They got some like super yeast in there, bro. That's how they do it. That's how they do it, man. Yeah. That's why there's so much like steam and heat coming off of them and why they're so much lighter than they actually look. Because they're actually just like expanded yeast. They're like essentially giant walking bread machines. They're like bread people. Literally just bread. Bro, call them bread titans, bro. I already read it. Yo. I remember the first time I mentioned that, I was like, yo, call me Yeast the way I be a Titan or some shit, dude. I don't even. Oh my god. What a stupid fucking. Call me Yeast, bro, the way I be a Titan, bro. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Oh, what was it that I actually said? It was something like that. What's the name of the show? I think it was, I made like a joke with the name of the show. It- why can I not remember the name, bro? Isn't the name literally, hold on. Why can I not remember the name? It was close, honestly. What was close? My prediction or Beast Titan was the name? What you just said. Oh, okay. Beast Titan, but that's a specific Titan. Bro, why can I not like actually having a freaking, my brain is like literally turning off right now. Whatever, dude. It doesn't matter. Anyways. Alright, we finally passed the 2 hour mark. I've stalled long enough. But it's just saying things now. Alright, bro. I'm gonna go rise, dude. I'm gonna go expand a little bit. Heat up and like crush people or some shit. I don't know. Yo, why you gotta spam everything that's not my emotes, bro? Like, this is kind of cringe, man. Yo. Where are these all default emotes? Brain slug. These are definitely all default emotes, bro. Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Okay, alright. So, I'll catch y'all later, man. Thank you, everybody, for chatting and watching and interacting in whatever ways that you please. Any lurkers or any people left in chat, be sure to join the Discord. It's pretty, be pretty nice. I don't even know what Mr. Raymond is doing right now. Ogre and Dog. Frankser and Smork. Incredible. Alright. Yeah, so I'll catch y'all later, bro. And this mog is specifically for Raymond.